Hey guys, very unexpected live stream. Got a breaking news development here from the land of Michelle After Dark. Now I do appreciate that I'm streaming to you from Michelle Walks, but because Michelle After Dark already has one copyright strike on that channel now, I thought to be a little bit canny, let's do this stream on Michelle Walks. Okay, so what happened was I was happily listening to the trial of Tailor's Your Business, which is still going on, by the way. I've had to interrupt my viewing of that trial to bring you this breaking news. Sorry, I can't keep the serious voice up. I can't. This is absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. Right. So I just thought I'd check my comments, and I put a community post up. Fruitland PD have done an update. It's 2 years since little Michael Vaughan went missing and was abducted by some monsters. And Fruitland PD updated. So I logged on to my YouTube studio so I could put a community post up. And what popped up before I even got a chance to make my community post? What popped up? A big notice from YouTube saying I'd received a copyright strike. Now, there's a difference between a copyright strike and a copyright claim. All right. Now, news channels like News Nation, Fox News, blah, 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 they occasionally copyright claim. And if you put music in your video that's not copyright free, you get a copyright claim. That doesn't affect your channel. It just means that the owner of that material gets the ad revenue for your video, right? And that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I've had those in the past, especially if I use News Nation. Even if I use like 30 seconds of News Nation, more often than not, I would say 80% of the time, they copyright claim my video. But it doesn't affect your channel. It just means that they get the money from that video, which I don't mind. If I'm using someone else's content, then they can have the money. A copyright strike is totally different. A copyright strike, well, put it this way. If you get 3 copyright strikes on your channel within 90 days, your channel has gone. Like deleted. YouTube deletes your channel. And creators have the ability to copyright strike another creator if they believe that their copyright rights have been infringed. Okay. So this copyright strike comes from someone called Steve Holder. And I assume those of you who have been following the Nonsense book and the creators, including me, I've made this one video about the book, and I talked about it in a live stream, right? Other creators have talked about it as well. And yeah, Steve Holder has copyright struck me. So I'm in the right, absolutely 100% in the right. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to watch the video. We're going to watch the video that Steve Holder says is his copyright. We're going to watch the video. So I've written to YouTube. I've put in a counter notification, opening court proceedings, because essentially, when you put a copyright strike in against a creator, you are opening a legal proceeding. So when you receive a copyright strike, as I have done today, and I counterclaim, and I'm counterclaiming saying, no, this is my intellectual property, absolutely my intellectual property, I am opening a legal proceeding from my end. Okay. So I hope for Steve Holder's sake that he doesn't end up with egg on his face, because unless Steve Holder is prepared to take me to court, then after about 10 days or something, YouTube takes the strike off and the video gets reinstated. So Steve Holder had better, see this through, because otherwise he's going to look very, very silly. Now, it's my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that Steve Holder has got a bruised ego. Because, yes, I did a video, the video that he's copyright struck, saying his book was pretty bad. But I was polite about it, and you'll see for yourself when we go through this video that this is 100% all of my own work. So, snark alert, for those of you who don't like the snark, and some of you don't like the snark, snark alert, when I start playing the video, I'm going to get snarky, because what is Steve Holder actually trying to say is his intellectual property. So Steve Holder, if you ever see this video, right, don't bother copyright striking this stream, because you will lose, right? I wouldn't be playing the video that YouTube have taken off Michelle After Dark and put this channel at risk if I believed I was in the wrong, because I understand copyright law. I understand the definition of fair use. I understand the definition of intellectual property. And by the end of this stream, I'm sure that you will agree with me. But Steve Holder, if you don't agree with me, I am going to throw down a challenge. Debate me, bro. Debate me. Debate me on the facts and the things that have happened over the 2 years of the Summerwells case. Let's see who knows more about the Summerwells case. Me, who's followed this case and has got 500 plus videos about the Summerwells case, or you, Mr. Holder, who has written a crappy book, which is 100% nonsense, and it's either from medium.com or WJHL or the TBI newsroom, and there's no original thought in there whatsoever at all. So here is your challenge, Mr. Holder. Debate me, bro. Debate me on the Summerwells case. There you go. That's the challenge. He is a dick. Yeah. But listen. The copyright strike isn't from the poorly written piece of garbage, because in the video that he's copyright struck, there's actually no content from the book. I haven't read anything from the book. I've talked about the book, and it's 100% my own work. So no, it's not from the piece of garbage. Well, he can blame me for his poor sales if he would like. But I'm not the only creator who said that this is a poorly written book. Actually, if you want the God's honest truth, I've defended him. I've actually defended him in my Facebook group. I've said I do not have a problem with people writing books about true crime cases. I do not have a problem with people making money off true crime cases. My YouTube channels make money from true crime cases. So I would be a complete hypocrite, total hypocrite, if I said I can make money off my YouTube channel, but you can't make money off writing a book. No, that'd be hypocritical. I've never said that. What I have said is, if this was a well-written book with, you know, original content, original interviews, original opinion, something original in it, then I would have supported the book. I'd have supported the book. But it's bad. It's bad. It's premature at the very least. You see, that might be the case. Any work put in writing is automatically protected by copyright law in the US. That might be the case. A is incognito. But I've not used his book in my video that he's copyright struck. So that's a moot point. Moot point. Total moot point. What am I supposed to have done? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the video, and then we can try to work out what I might have done wrong. Let's hear the snark. She should be thankful for the free ad. Unless Steve Holder's had a sex change, I do believe he's male. Well, no, he won't get any money. He won't get any money because you don't get any money for copyright striking someone. Because what YouTube does is takes down the video and waits for 10 days to see whether the person who's made the strike wants to take it to court. And if 10 days, then the video gets put back up because it's my intellectual property. And even if he does want to take me all the way to court, let him bring it on because I'll win. Are there no mods here? I do not know. I do not know. I do not know if we've got any mods in. Yeah, debate me, bro. And I'll just be clear that in my previous life on YouTube, before I did true crime, I used to do debates. So I know how to debate. So Steve Holder, debate me, bro. The only other time I've thrown down the gauntlet in debate, you know, a debate challenge was to someone regarding, what case was it? I don't even remember what case it was at. It wasn't Summer Wells. I don't remember what case it was at, but I threw down the gauntlet of a debate, and the person, I'm not going to name them, but the person kindly declined the offer. Live stream from court. Well, yeah, I might. I mean, where would the court take place? Because he's in Tennessee and I'm in the north of the UK. So where would the court take place? Because yeah, I don't know. It could get very sticky. It could get very sticky. Of course I am. Of course I have. Of course I've challenged it. I'll even read it, yeah, what I wrote. Hold on a minute. Has it given me a copy? I don't even know if I've got a copy. Hold on, view details. I don't know where I get my text back. But anyway, I don't know where I get my text back from, but it's probably in my emails, but I've got like 5 gazillion emails, so Anyway, I'll not try to look for it. But yes, I had challenged it. I had to write something, and I had to put my my legal address. So this is just a warning to Steve Holder. Not that he would. I'm sure he wouldn't. But just to be clear and just to get this up front, that if anything strange starts happening, like, you know, pizzas delivered to my address or strange things occurring, just bear in mind that I do have weapons in the house, and yeah. All right, so yeah, so I had to write a little blurb to say why I'm challenging the strike. So I said it's either a strike that's been done in error, because, I don't know, Steve Holder might not understand the meaning of copyright, or it's malicious. And this is all 100% my own work, my intellectual property, and any screenshots I've used are all in the public domain. So, without further ado, shall we play this video? Shall we do? Shall we play this video? Yes. Unless there's another Steve Holder. It could be that there's another Steve Holder. But it has to be, to make a copyright strike, you have to be the owner, you know, in your opinion, you have to be the owner of the stuff that you're claiming is your copyright. So, has it ever happened to me before? Yes, not in true crime. In my previous iteration of YouTube, someone copyright struck me. Yeah. But they didn't contest it. They were doing it maliciously, and they didn't contest it. So I'd be interested to see if he's copyright struck anyone else. Thank you, Khaleesi girl, for the $1.99. It's very kind of you. I'm going to. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. That's what I said. I'm going to play the video. That's why I gave a snark alert. Shall we do it? Right. So I'm going to add this to the stream, and I am going to stop it at appropriate places for me to snark. Oh, he struck lip lock no more, did he? Okay. Who is Steve Holder? He's the person who wrote the book on Summer Wells, on the Summer Wells case. Well, I hope she's also counter-claimed. She's contested as well. I'm dumber than you thought. All right, okay. Well, let's play it. My name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Why can I not hear any sound? Huh. Welcome to another video. Can you hear sound? It's Wednesday morning, and today Can you hear sound? You can hear it. Why can I not hear it? That's weird. I've got maybe my ear things of. We are going to be looking at the book that has been published. Huh. All right. Well, I can't hear it, which I need to be able to hear it. Or else how can I snark on it if I can't hear it? What's going down here? Hold on, just getting my settings. Try that. On the summer. All right, I can hear it now. But it's right. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I'll just take my earpods out. Wells case. Right. We're all listening to it from the same place. Okay. I think it's my earpods. I think they're probably dead or something. All right. Let's go. So this video has been copyright struck by Steve Holder. He's claiming that this is his content. Okay. All right. So good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Wednesday morning. And today we are going to be looking at the book that has been published on the Summer Wells case. All right. So that's my voice, isn't it? Let me know if the voice changes and morphs into Steve Holder's voice at any point during this video. Also, let me know whether Steve Holder has got 3 identical dogs to mine, and I'm actually using footage from him that he filmed with his 3 identical dogs in identical woodland to which I walk in. So which is it? Is it that I filmed this in woodland close to my home, of my dogs whilst I was walking along? Is that more likely? Or is it more likely that this is Steve Holder recording this and therefore holding the copyright for this film? Of course I'm fighting it. Of course I'm fighting it. Oh, I know who you are, David. All right. Okay, piss off. Go and piss yourself. Piss yourself laughing. David Gray. All right. No, I haven't bought this book. I haven't read this book. So I wasn't going to review this book. I've made my feelings clear about it in my Facebook group. I said that I don't have a problem with people writing books about any case. True crime is a huge genre. Mysteries, including missing people, huge genre. So the principle of it alone isn't a problem. But it seems that this book is, having listened to what Lip Locked No More has been doing. Lip Locked No More didn't buy the book. Someone bought it for her. Given that she's been given this as a gift, she's been reviewing it on her channel. So she's currently at part 3. She's currently just done part 3. So go and check it out. I'll link Lip Locked No More's channel in the description box so that you can find her easily. She does some really good stuff. She does some really good rants. She has me really chuckling. But there's a lot of... So these must be Steve Holder's dogs, because it's still my voice. So it could be perfectly possible that these are actually Steve Holder's dogs just doing a really good impression of being my dogs. And this is actually filmed in the woods in Tennessee, not the woods in North Lancashire. So, So we're still with the program here, aren't we? That either these are my dogs that you see every day, the Springer Spaniel's Cassie, the large Labradoodle is Tilly, and then the cream one is Noodle, right? They're my dogs, filmed off my phone. I probably even still have the original file. Like, this is the MP4 file that I'm playing you after editing, which I did myself, right? So the filming's 100% mine. The editing's 100% mine. The intellectual property is 100% mine. These are 100% my thoughts. So, but maybe it gets a little bit more spicy. Let's carry on and find out. Really serious content there. Right. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the dark truth, the chilling story of Summerwell's disappearance by Steve Holder. So that's the name of the book. So I've even given Steve Holder's book a free ad by giving it the full title. Don't they often say that all publicity is good publicity? Also, I'll start by... So, I start by reviewing the Amazon entry. So I'm wondering whether he thinks he can copyright strike me for putting on screen the Amazon entry of his book, because that's in the public domain and that is not content that's copyright owned by him. That's copyright owned by Amazon because it's on amazon.com or amazon.co.uk if you're in the UK. So I'm wondering whether there's been a genuine confusion here, that he thinks because I've reviewed the Amazon entry that he can say that this is his content. But it's not. This is the ownership of amazon.co.uk. So if amazon.co.uk wanted to copyright strike me for reading through the Amazon entry for this book, then at least I could understand that, right? Not that they would, because there's nothing... Amazon would be pleased. But this is the only thing I can think he's got confused about. So anyway, I run through the Amazon entry. So I read it. I basically read it, right? So I read this. It says, would give 0 stars if possible. He lost me at Candice Harper. Terribly written. This apparently wasn't proofread or fact-checked. Total disappointment. So that's the opinion of someone who's bought the book and reviewed the book. Yeah, it's public domain information. It's on amazon.co.uk. It's on Amazon. So he can't come along and claim, because I'm going through the Amazon entry for his book, that he's got some kind of claim over it. He doesn't. He doesn't. That's the ownership of Amazon. Thank you, GoFundMe. Thank you. Oh, it's hilarious. And this is what Lip Lock No More is picking up on. So now I went through like the book review there. Went through that. Right. Okay. So we're back to what Lip Lock No More said. All right. Is picking up on. Now, I was able to download a 10%, the first 10% of the book for free. And right at the beginning of the book, he does indeed call Grandma, whose name, of course, is Candice Harper. So just a typo, but this continues throughout the book, apparently. The book just hasn't been well proofread. So let's look at the author himself. Steve Holder was born and raised in So this also, he might believe, is his copyright ownership, because presumably he wrote this for his Amazon advert, right? but he submitted it to Amazon. So this is Amazon's property. So, yeah, I read through that paragraph about him. All right, so let's move it on a little bit more. Okay. With people writing books about true crime cases. There are so many out there. It's a very popular genre. So I'm still defending him. Still defending him, saying I don't have a problem. Do not have a problem with people writing books. So again, let me just check in with you. I'm about, what, a third of the way through the video now. Let me just check in with you that my voice hasn't morphed into Steve's. No. The woods are still in Lancashire, not Tennessee. The person holding the phone, which probably still has the actual raw file on before editing. So take me to court, Steve, because I'll bring you the raw file of this footage. And you're already seeing the MP4 file of what the footage looked like once it had been edited with the Amazon thing in. No, I don't. I don't have to fight. No, I don't have to hire a lawyer. What you do, right? Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Right. So someone files a copyright strike. I counterclaim. And she has, he has got 10 days to respond, saying that he's going to take me to court because he still believes this is his copyright. Okay. Or he lets it go and YouTube takes my strike off and reinstates the video that it's taken down erroneously. Well, okay. What if I did give him a bad review? What if I did give him a bad review? That does not give him the right to copyright strike me, because from a legal standpoint, right, YouTube does not take kindly to people maliciously copyright striking other creators. The copyright strike system is there for genuine cases where somebody has had their content used unfairly. So outside of the realms of fair use. So basically passing off someone else's content as their own. Right? Look, people use my content. I want people to use my content. The only time I've got a problem with it is if someone passes off my content as their own, so doesn't give me credit for it. So it's basically using the content unfairly. I want my content to be shared. I want creators to use my content, but used fairly. Right? You can review an entire video of mine and I would never copyright strike you. Even if I don't like you, even if I hate your channel, I wouldn't copyright strike you if you're using that content fairly. You're using it for commentary, criticism, research, education, etc., etc. So if you're critiquing a video, you can play 100% of the video as long as you're critiquing it, because that's fair use, right? So to abuse the copyright strike system is, well, YouTube does not take kindly to it. They really do not take kindly to it. Like, you can't just maliciously strike someone for content that you know full well is that person's because you don't like what they're saying. You can't copyright strike someone for them giving you a bad book review, because that's your opinion. Like, you can't even get someone done for defamation for that. Because if I review a book and I make a video about it and the author doesn't like the review, that's not defamation, it's not slander, because it's my honest opinion. And don't we live in a society that agrees with free speech? In the US, isn't that the First Amendment? Now, we don't have a constitution like you guys in the US do. Like, we don't have the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, but we have all of those rights embedded within law. We just don't call it the Constitution. So in my country, I have the right to free speech. Now, obviously, there's limits to it. If you're inciting violence or inciting terrorism, yeah, I get it. Right? I have. You better believe I have. You don't know who struck me? Steve Holder. Yeah. So, hold on. Yeah. So your First Amendment right to free speech. So is Steve Holder trying to say that he doesn't want people to uphold their First Amendment rights? Now, he might say, well, Michelle, you're in the UK, so whatever is in the US Constitution is not relevant to you. But it is, because in my country, we also have a right to free speech. We just don't call it the First Amendment. I don't know what we call it, but it's embedded within law, right? We have the same defamation laws as you guys in the US. Like, we can plead the Fifth. We actually call it, I plead the Fifth, even though we don't actually have the Fifth Amendment in a constitution. But anyway, yeah. I wonder. Never a dull moment. I know. Yeah, they do. They use the CPS system as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's to try to shut someone down. But the problem is that you're only shutting them down for 10 days. And you're not even shutting me down for 10 minutes. Because within 10 minutes of me reading that copyright strike and writing to YouTube, I'd set up this live. And I'm playing you the very content that he has copyright struck me for on my other channel. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. Now, we've got stricter laws than you on that. We've got stricter laws than you on that. Like, there's only certain guns we can own. Although we can own knives, swords, stuff. You know, I've got a big katana. It's a bit lethal. The police know I've got it. The police have seen it. I'm just saying. All right, let's carry on. Writing books and making money off true crime cases, then you're never going to watch a YouTube video on true crime again. Even if that channel isn't monetized, ads will still appear on that video as long as it's not been demonetized for content. But instead of the author getting a percentage and YouTube getting a percentage, I think it's something like, is it 45% that YouTube gets and the creator gets 50%? So I'm not even talking about his book now. I'm talking about the ad revenue system on YouTube. I mean, it's not even that interesting, this video. It's me just with a free flow kind of thought process at this point. 55, I don't even know. Something like that anyway. But if a channel isn't monetized, assuming the video's not been demonetized. Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate because I'm probably not going to get burgled because of Tilly. Because she's big and she's very loud. Like people 3 streets away can hear Tilly when she barks.
She's not very scary.
She's not very scary. Kyle's just come in and said she's not very scary. Yeah, but when you hear her bark, she sounds scary, doesn't she?
She's more scary if Cassie's taking her ankle.
That's true. Cassie's the one that would attack. I mean, I seriously thought Cassie was going to bite someone's face the other day. Right, I had a new couch delivered, right, and a second-hand one from a charity shop because I buy furniture second-hand. This guy brought it in, and Cassie sat on the old couch. And she's growling. She's proper mad, right? She's proper mad because this strange man walked in her house. And he bent down right in front of her. And I was like, she's going to bite you, dude. She's going to bite you. She's going to bite. And I could see her revving up. And he had his face right near her. And I thought, you absolute idiot. And he's going, I've got a Springer Spaniel. Oh, come here. What's your name? And she's going, and her teeth, she's snarling. Then she realized he left the door open, so instead of biting his face, she just ran out the door so she could just go and run around the neighborhood like an insane thing. But yeah, yes, it's my new living room. It's all finished. It's all finished. So what an absolute clown. So yeah, if someone broke in, Tilly would be a piece of cake, whereas Cassie would probably bite their face. But anyway, but I'm still not seeing any content from Steve Holder here. Are you? We're still in the woods in Lancashire, aren't we? I've not like sneakily change this to content that Steve Holder filmed in Tennessee with 3 identical dogs with a voice that is identical to mine. Yeah, my son did the painting and then I did the cleaning. And then we got a new couch and a new table. No, he wasn't taking away a usual couch. No, the old couch is still here. No Steve Holder anywhere. No, well, Steve Holder wrote the book. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Did I say I wrote the book? No, I said at the beginning of the video, I am reviewing the Dark Truth. What was it called? The Dark Truth, The Chilling Story of Summer Wells by Steve Holder. So no, I've not tried to pass off this book as mine. I mean, come on. Would I even admit if I'd secretly written that book? Would I even admit it? It's so bad. I couldn't admit that. If I'd wrote a piece of text that was so bad, that was 3/4 plagiarized from medium.com and wjhl.com and the Times, not the Times, the TBI newsroom. Reviewing a book is fair. There's not even a question. There's not even a question. None of this content is Steve Holder's. Steve Holder does not own 1%. It's not like I've used 30 seconds of a clip from someone else's content. It's not even that. It's 100% my filming, my editing, the woods near my house, my dogs, my voice, my thoughts, my opinions, 100%. And the content that I've put on screen going through the Amazon entry is the content is Amazon's property. It's Amazon's property, not his. Anyone could do a book review. Of course they can. Of course they can.
Monetize for content, you know, for naughty words or something like that, then ads will appear and YouTube will get 100% of that ad revenue. You'll also not watch true crime documentaries.
I don't care. Let's skip ahead like for 30 seconds. Right.
Wherever you get your content. I've not got an issue with people making money. My channel is monetized. All right. I'm completely upfront that I make some money off my YouTube videos, unless they get demonetized for the most ridiculous reason.
Talking about
that's not why I'm making this video.
Not the reason why I'm making this video.
Liplock No More made some excellent points as she's been reading through this book. Steve Holder seems to have done hardly any research. He's certainly not done any independent research, you know, gone out and done interviews or dug into records or anything like that. He's taken his content from places like findsummerwells.com, which is Tim Mullen's website. This, of course, is findsummerwells.com.
That's findsummerwells.com. So Tim Mullen runs summerwells.com, findsummerwells.com. So this website that I'm showing here is not the copyright of Steve Holder. Okay, so there's that.
Wells Family Information Site. Follow our blog and stuff. All right, so there's some general information on here, but mainly it's a blog site, mainly.
There you go.
WJHL.
Thank you for the $2.99 super sticker. BCTV with a different videographer with opinions. Thank you. He just wants free publicity. Well, yeah, but taking down a video that gives him free publicity is not an intelligent thing to do. Is it?
He's taken content from medium.com. The chapter about the timeline is from Medium. And this is one article published at medium.com.
So this is medium.com, right? This is the website, medium.com. This is not Steve Holder's website. This is medium.com, where he's took an entire chapter of his book from this website. So this is not his content either. I'm showing you medium.com as the example of where he's got some content from. I showed you findsummerwells.com as to where he's got some of his content from. The majority of it, I believe he has. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but he's got like a chapter from medium.com. He's got a chapter from WJHL. He's got the TBI newsroom fact things that TBI have got on about summer. He's got some stuff from findsummerwells.com. And then he's got some bits that presumably he wrote himself. So I don't get it. Yes, it's plagiarism. Yes, I've made that point. I made that point in a live stream when I talked about it. I can't remember which live stream it was, where I talked a little bit about it. I think it was my members live. Maybe it was my members live. I can't remember. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I said that I taught at a university for over 20 years. And if a student had done what he did, you know, so got like a section from this website, a section from this website, a section from this website, even if they cited the source, it's still plagiarism because it's not their own words. Yes, you can use a small section from a book or a journal article or a website, put it in inverted commas and, you know, and cite your source, and that's fine. But when you're taking entire articles and citing it as your own work, that's plagiarism. Yes, I believe so. I believe so. So this content that's on screen here is medium.com. And if the video hadn't been taken down, I would show you all of the links that I put in the description box to show you where I got these things from.
Summer Wells case analysis. I don't know whether it's this one he used. I assume so, because this one has got a timeline. So around 7 in the morning on June 15th, Donald Wells leaves for work and Candice Wells.
So I'm reading this from medium.com. I'm not reading this from his book. I'm reading this from medium.com, right? Just because he's copied this text and put it in his book does not make this content his content, because this is from medium.com and I'm reading a section from medium.com. This is not his work. None of it is his work. 100% not his work. 100% my intellectual property. 100% my filming, my editing, and the clips like this, where I've taken and read little sections, are from other websites, not his book. And this is all fair use. Reading a section from medium.com, reading a section from amazon.co.uk, reading a section from findsummerwells.com, all fair use. And none of it, not even a 0.00001% of this content in this video is Steve Holder's. None, zero.
Gets ready, and blah, blah, blah. Candice woke her up around 7. How do we know this? How do we know that Candice woke Summer up at 7? Candice had plans to take her mother to the medical institution for her knee that day, so she planned to take Summer along with her and leave the 3 boys at home. To dropping Grandma off, Candice receives a call from her best friend's son, Hunter.
So this is content from Candice Wells, from her TikTok. So this content that's on your screen now is the copyright of Candice Wells that I'm playing a section of, not Steve Holder's. This is not Steve Holder's content. This is fair use from Candice Wells' TikTok.
15-year-old boy asks Candice to come over and see them while she has free time. Candice's mother calls and tells her she's ready to be picked up.
And the text that I'm reading is from medium.com, not from Steve Holder's book. Just because Steve Holder has copied from medium.com does not make that content his. The original source I'm reading from is medium.com.
So Hunter asks if he can ride along, and Candice says yes. After picking her mother up, they drop a prescription off at Walgreens, and the store told them it would take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes for the medication. So they went to the swimming hole. They let her swim for around 30 minutes until the prescription is ready. How do we know? How do we know that they spent 30 minutes there?
There you go. There's the proof that this is from medium.com and not his book, because it says read the full story with a free account. And I do believe it gives you the site reference there. Like the URL's cut off on this video just by the editing. But this is medium.com. And I could only read a little bit of it because I don't have a free account at medium.com. I couldn't be bothered putting an email address in to get the rest of the article. I was just proving a point that the book had been plagiarized from a whole bunch of sources, including this, which is medium.com, not his book.
After receiving the prescription from Walgreens, the group stops at Sonic and purchases slushies. I've got to register to read the rest. This is just basic stuff.
There you go.
That has been accrued. Where has this information accrued?
So that author is Tatiana Santana. So if Tatiana Santana from medium.com had a problem with me reading a paragraph from her work, then yeah, maybe she'd have grounds to submit some kind of copyright strike. I would still contest it. I would still contest it because this is fair use. Using a small piece of someone else's work for commentary, criticism, research, education, etc., is all part of the Copyright Act 1976. So even Tatiana Santana, who wrote this piece, still wouldn't have a claim to this video because I'm using this through fair use. This is all my work. This is all my intellectual property, my editing, my opinions, and he has no right, no right to 0.00001% of it.
Places like WJHL have talked about the timeline, but it's YouTube, isn't it? It's YouTubers that have put timelines together.
So what's his name again? Steve Holder. Steve Holder. So again, I've these dogs changed into Steve Holder's dogs? Have I stolen his dogs? Have I you know, I don't know, snuck into his house in the dead of night, stolen his dogs, shipped them over to the UK? Or have I walked about the woods in northeast Tennessee pretending that I'm in Lancashire when I've really been up to nefarious means? No, I filmed this. I've got this is what you're seeing here is the MP4 file that was produced pre-upload to YouTube. This is my MP4 file as a result of my filming, my editing, my walking around the woods, my intellectual property, my content. None of it is Steve Holder's.
I've done timelines, and what I conclude from the timeline isn't some kind of deep conspiracy. It's that there's about 3 hours between them getting home, assuming that the final photo and that little accidental video of...
So this photo is the property of Candice Wells. It was taken on Candice Wells' phone. So this photo is not the property of Steve Holder. This is the property of Candice Wells. It was taken on her phone.
Summer really was taken at 3:09. I know where it was taken, but it's only Candice that says this was taken at 3:09. She told the channel unmasked, but she didn't provide a screenshot proving it. But assuming that was taken that day, and my opinion is that it was, right? Because law enforcement have that content, and if there was any issue, you know, discrepancy between what Candice was saying and what they saw on the metadata, then that would be a big issue for them. But maybe not enough in itself to arrest her. I don't know, guys. And then Summer was reported missing. The first 911 call came in at 6:23. And then there was another one at 6:26. And shortly after 6:30, we heard the dispatch call.
So this is the dispatch call from the Hawkins County Dispatch. So the original, the audio from this is the intellectual property or the content of Hawkins County Dispatch. But I'm playing this via WJHL, who played it on one of their very early pieces on the Summer Wells case. So I've credited WJHL. I always credit WJHL when I play this dispatch call because I got it from WJHL. But the actual copyright, if you really dug into it, would be Hawkins County Dispatch. or even Broadcastify, because Broadcastify has the archive. So it gets very, copyright gets very dodgy, really. Like, it's difficult. It's a difficult part of law. But the use of this dispatch call is under fair use. So it doesn't matter who owns the copyright, whether it's Broadcastify, whether it's WJHL, whether it's Hawkins County Dispatch, doesn't matter, because I'm using it under fair use, under the Copyright Act 1976. What's important for the matter at hand here is this is not the property of Steve Holder.
Road on the beach creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
And this is the dispatch call that says she's already been missing 10 minutes. So what's that, about 6:10? Anywhere between.
So I'm talking about my opinion of the timeline. So I've gone off on another train of thought, on another tangent. I've gone off Steve Holder's book, and I'm talking about the timeline of the Summer Wells case. No. Sharing someone's video doesn't infringe copyright. No, you can share video, like for criticism, commentary, education, research. Anybody can share my content, as long as you credit me as the source holder, as it's my content, my intellectual property. As long as you credit me, please share my content, critique my content, comment on my content. It's good. It's good. It gets your channel out there when people share videos or share clips. It's good. Like, I share other people's content, and no one's ever had a problem with it, because it's generally thought of a good thing. It's only if you're passing that content off as your own that you're infringing copyright. Of course I'm going to win. Of course I'm going to win. Like, why do you think I'm playing this video? To prove. To prove I'm going to win. There's no contest. He's just butthurt. His little ego's been bruised. And I'll throw down the gauntlet of the debate challenge again. Steve Holder, if you ever listen to this video, here is the challenge. Debate me, bro. Debate me on the Summer Wells case. Let's talk the facts. Let's talk the timeline. Let's talk the case from the last 2 years. Let's see who knows more about the Summer Wells case. Me, who's got 500 plus videos of original content, or you, who's written a crappy book that's, I don't know, 3/4 of it is from medium.com or wjhl.com or findsummerwells.com or the TBI newsroom. Debate me, bro. I look forward to being contacted by you to set up the time and the place. Happy to do it on my channel. Happy to do it on yours. I don't mind.
Between 6:05, 6:10. Been missing 10 minutes. But that's according to Candice. The media have run with that and said, well, she must have been missing from about 6 or just after. No. There is so much more to this timeline than the planting of the flowers and the candy from grandma and going in washing her hands.
And what I'm critiquing here is medium.com, because it's medium.com who put this timeline out that Steve Holder copied. But I'm actually critiquing medium.com here as the original source of the content that I've just read a paragraph from, saying, look, there's so much more to it than the swimming hole, the planting the flowers. There's so much more to it. There's so much missing time. That's what I'm actually talking about here, not about Steve Holder's book. I've gone off on a ramble.
and then going down to play in the basement. And then 2 minutes later, Candice comes along and says, "Where's Summer?" And she shouts down the basement steps. The boys say she went playing in the playroom with her toys. No, because the boys told Sheriff Ronnie Lawson that very...
Does the book have an ISBN number? I don't know. Hold on. Yes, it does. This is the ISBN. Copying this from Amazon. That's the ISBN right there in the chat.
Night that they last saw her going outside the basement door. They can't see her going outside the basement door if they were sat at the kitchen table. There's things that are problematic with this timeline.
So I'm talking about the timeline that's been presented by Tatiana Santos from medium.com, not from Steve Holder, who has just mindlessly copied it from medium.com without even thinking through the entire day and all of the missing time and the discrepancies in what people have said. So
these articles, like Medium, and therefore any content that has been copied from these websites has got a fundamental flaw.
There you go.
That it's not the truth.
In my opinion, this is my opinion, that the websites like Medium, who've just trotted out the same lines, usually they've just got it from what Candice said, have missed all the nuance, all the discrepancies, all the little changes that have happened over the last 2 years. And therefore cannot just be copied into a book mindlessly. That's why there's nothing original about this book when we refer into things like the timeline, because he hasn't thought it through. He doesn't know the nuance of the case. Once again, debate me, bro.
But Steve Holder seems to have a problem with YouTubers. So let's remind you.
Well, he absolutely does have a problem with YouTubers. He absolutely does. Now, this is a screenshot from Liplock No More's video. So is this the thing that he wants to copyright strike me for? Me putting a screenshot of his book. So not the content from his book, but the front cover and the back cover of his book, which is from Liplock No More. This is just a screenshot from Liplock No More. So is this the problem? I suspect it might be.
This was the...
But again, even if he wants to claim this front cover and the back cover as his copyright, it's still not breaching the Copyright Act 1976, because I've screenshotted this from Liplock No More. So the actual content I got this from is Liplock No More. But he could argue, well, yeah, but that's my book, and you're reading from my book. Yes, but I'm doing it under fair use for criticism and commentary and education. So you still don't have a case. You don't have a case.
The front cover of the book, he must have changed it. The Dark Truth, the chilling story of Summerwell's disappearance. That's what the front cover says.
So a few seconds of the front cover there, screenshotted from Liplock No More, holding up that book.
Now let's look at what the back cover says.
Now this is the back cover.
So this is the back.
So this is the back cover. So he might say, well, Michelle, you're reading from my back cover. Now, that's Liplock No More's fingers there. So this still isn't his content. This is Liplock No More's content. I screenshotted this from Liplock No More. And even if he's saying this text that you're going to read, Michelle, in the next few seconds is mine, it's still covered under fair use for commentary and criticism. Dear me. And in my opinion, this proves that he's got a problem with YouTubers and just copyright striking me. Well, look what he's done. He's proven he's got a problem with YouTubers. So if he tries to say that I'm defaming him, well, to defame someone, you have got to be deliberately lying about them. You've got to be lying about them. But he's proven my case that he has a problem with YouTubers, because copyright striking someone for content that is 100% theirs shows you have a problem with YouTubers.
Cover of this book. Thank you to Liplock No More for providing this information. Unless you actually have the book, you don't know what's written on the back cover.
There you
This
go.
is what it says on Liplock No More's version. If an insane person were a true crime YouTuber, their approach to the Summer Wells case may take on a particularly sensationalised and speculative tone. They would likely exploit the case's mystery for views and engagement, delving into the various conspiracy theories and presenting them as potential truths. Truth is, they actually do this constantly. It's time for some perspective. So Steve Holder thinks...
So reading that paragraph is that constituting breaching his copyright? No. Why? Because under the Copyright Act 1976, fair use for commentary, criticism, research, education, blah, de, blah, de, blah, I have the right to critique that back cover that I screenshotted from Liplock No More's video. So there you go. Yeah, you can. If they can prove that what you've said is a lie and it's damaged their reputation or their ability to earn money, that kind of thing, then yeah, you can get someone done for slander or libel. If it is, isn't it? If it's spoken, it's slander. If it's written, it's libel. But when you're expressing an opinion, well, that's not slanderous unless what you're saying is deliberately untrue and harmful and is there intending to damage their reputation and their, I don't know, ability to earn money. But I'm saying here, I'm reading his back cover, or one paragraph from his back. I didn't even read the whole back cover. I spent a few seconds reading one paragraph so that I could comment on it, saying, in my opinion, he's got a problem with YouTubers. And the very fact that he has copyright struck me completely erroneously and maliciously, in my opinion, proves that he has got a problem with YouTubers. So bring it on. Bring it on.
He's going to provide perspective to the Summer Wells case with a title called The Dark Truth, the chilling story of Summer Wells' disappearance. The dark truth. Well, how do we know that the truth is dark? I mean, of course, it's potentially very dark. It's potentially way darker than any of us have ever imagined, even the wildest conspiracy theories. I mean, look at what came out as to what happened to Harmony Montgomery. Way worse than anybody ever imagined. What's happened in the Michael Vaughan case? Way worse than anybody ever imagined. Has Summer been trafficked? Has she been abducted? Did horrible things?
So now I'm talking about Summer. what has happened to Summer and how dark is the actual truth of what's happened to Summer. So with the aim of saying, well, even the title of the book, like The Dark Truth, we don't know. We don't know the truth of the case. We don't know what happened to Summer Wells. We don't know what happened to Summer Wells. So how can you say truth in a title when we don't know what happened? I mean, his book is just full of, it's just full of the narrative that's been out there for the last 2 years. There's no original thought. In my opinion, there's no original research. There's no original anything. He's not gone to records. He's not gone to interviews. He's not done anything that, in my opinion, constitutes a real moving forward of the case. In my opinion.
Things happen to her. Is she dead? Is she alive? Is she in a dungeon, as Don keeps saying? If so, that's really dark. But we don't know. And Steve Holder blaming YouTubers for putting speculation out, well, that's just a kick in the face for the people who really have been keeping Summer Wells' name out there. If it wasn't for YouTube, do you think that the Wells would have gone on Dr. Phil? If it wasn't for YouTube, do you think that we'd still know about Summer?
No, I don't think we would. I mean, all right, YouTube is continued to talk about Summer because of all of the colourful characters that surround her, like her parents and neighbours. All of that has kept the case going on YouTube. But still, if it wasn't for social media, Summer would not have got international attention via the Dr. Phil show. Summer would just be another missing kid who's been gone for 25 months now. So, yes, Navi, yes, it's very, very true. Rewind back to the beginning, because Steve Holder, the author of the really bad garbage book, in my opinion, allegedly, by Steve Holder, has copyright struck me for this video that I'm playing right now, which has been taken down by YouTube because Steve Holder is claiming that this is his content. So I want you to tell me, anyone, tell me how any of this is Steve Holder's intellectual property, his content. It's 100% my filming, my editing, choosing the sources that I've used, 100% mine, 100% my voice, 100% everything, 100% my opinion. I don't get it. I don't get it. So YouTube has got 10 days. They can keep it down for 10 days. If I've put in a counter thing saying this isn't true, blah, 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 I should have kept a copy of my text that I wrote to them. I didn't write very much. I just wrote a paragraph saying this copyright strike has been either done in error or maliciously because this is 100% my work. And I can prove it. I've got the raw file. This file that you're watching right now, because this is not playing off YouTube because YouTube have taken it down. This is playing off an MP4 file that's on my computer. And this is the edited version, 100% edited by me. I've got the raw file. I've got this raw footage from the woods near my house of my dogs with my voice on it. I've got 100% proof that this is my work. So, Steve Holder, once again, debate me, bro.
at all. The things that YouTubers have done for the positive that have been picked up by the media. It's not one crappy book that's going to keep Summer's name alive. It's social media that's going to keep Summer's name alive. Because some of us who followed Summer's case from the very beginning are absolutely committed to keeping Summer's name alive. And no, none of us are going to solve what happened to Summer because we don't have all of the information that law enforcement does. But neither do you, Steve Holder, because all you've proven is that you're able to access a few websites like medium.com and findsummerwells.com and WJHL. Look, WJHL have done some great reports. WJHL have done a lot to keep Summer's name out there in their local community. But for Steve Holder to come along and call his book The Dark Truth, the chilling story of Summer Wells' disappearance, when none of us have got any idea what happened to Summer, and then on the back cover say that true crime YouTubers are just insane and are just speculating and making conspiracy theories up. Look, there are some really bad YouTubers. There are some people who are exploiting true crime. There are. But there are also some very, very good ones. And all I'm seeing, Steve Holder, is you doing what you say YouTubers have done wrong. You're exploiting Summer's name by putting a clickbait title like The Dark Truth, like you've got some vital information, you know what's happened to Summer and no one else does, and you're giving this truth. There's no truth. We don't know what the truth is. We don't know what the truth is. So the timeline is a speculation. The timeline is what the parents have said, not what law enforcement said. Law enforcement will not give any information about the timeline. So just the timeline itself is a speculation. Need I go on? I don't think so. I don't think so, because in having a back cover like this, Steve Holder has proven his true purpose for writing this book, and it isn't about keeping Summer's name alive. But let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Have you read this book? I don't advise that you buy it. Steve Holder might be thinking, oh well, all publicity is good publicity. No, it isn't. All right guys, I'll see you in the next video.
And this music is also not the copyright of Steve Holder. This is from YouTube's free library. So if you have a channel, you go into your YouTube studio and go into audio library, and there's thousands of little tunes like this that you can use copyright free, courtesy of YouTube. So none of it, 0% of this video is the copyright of Steve Holder. Oh dear. So somebody asked me if it tells me what the hold on a minute, what bit of it he's complaining about. Maybe it does. Hold on. No, it doesn't. It just loops me back. Hold on. Copyright strikes issued when we remove content because of a copyright owner sent us a complete and valid legal request asking us to do so. Learn more. All right. So it just keeps looping me back. So if I click the link in YouTube Studio, let me just take this down. And then I can share this. So this is the copyright of YouTube. This is the copyright of YouTube. Copyright strike basics. So when I click on my YouTube Studio and it says learn more, then it takes me to this. So if you get a copyright strike, it means the copyright owner submitted a complete and valid legal takedown request for using their copyright protected content. So which bit of that video is copyright protected content? Which bit of it? Which second of it is copyright protected content? None of it. Dear me. If we get this type of formal notification, we take down your video to comply with copyright law. Video can only have one copyright strike at a time. Keep in mind that videos can be removed from a site for reasons other than copyright. Also, content ID claims don't result in a strike. So content ID claims are different. They're like what news channels do sometimes. So when you get a copyright strike, it acts as a warning. The first time you get a copyright strike, you'll need to go through copyright school. Copyright school helps creators understand copyright and how it's enforced at YouTube. Copyright strikes may affect your ability to monetize. In addition, if your active live stream is removed for copyright, your access to live streaming will be restricted for 7 days. If you get 3 copyright strikes, your account, along with any associated channels, is subject to termination. All video upload, blah, blah, blah. Courtesy period. Okay, that's... All right. Oh, okay. So if I go to content, filter bar, copyright restrictions. All right. Hold on. I might be able to find out. Where do I go? So filter bar, copyright. All right. Oh, darn it. It doesn't give me any information. See details. No. No, that goes back to the same thing. No, all it's given me, when I've followed the instructions from YouTube, all it gives me is this. Status overview, strike added, removed, manually detected, video taken down, counter notification awaiting review. So my counter notification is awaiting review by YouTube. If accepted, it will be forwarded to the copyright owner who remove your video. They will have 10 US business days to review and respond. And then if they don't respond, Steve Holder, you've got 10 US working days, business days to respond. If you don't respond, then YouTube just puts up the video back up. It is annoyingly complicated, yeah. So I don't even know what bit of this video Steve Holder has a problem with. Which doesn't seem very fair to me. Because, as I've kept saying, 100% filmed by me, 100% spoken by me, 100% edited by me, 100% of my intellectual property, 100% of my opinion. And the clips I used were from Amazon, where I showed the book on Amazon, which is the property of Amazon, not Steve Holder. I showed you briefly findsummerwells.com, which is presumably the property of Tim Mullen, not Steve Holder. I showed you the, and I read a little bit from a medium.com article that Steve Holder has taken a chapter from, which is the copyright, the ownership of medium.com, not Steve Holder. I showed you a screenshot of the front and back cover, and I read a little bit from the back cover that Steve Holder might say, well, that's my back cover, and therefore that's a problem. But that's used under fair use, and the screenshot came from Lip Lock No More. It's even got Lip Lock No More's hand in it, in the screenshot. The little clip of Summer playing at the swimming hole is the property of Candice Wells from TikTok. The milk jugs photo is a property of Candice Wells, used under fair use. The dispatch call is either the property of Hawkins County Dispatch from Broadcastify, where the archive was gotten from, or from WJHL. I always credit WJHL because I got it from there, not from Broadcastify, but not the property of Steve Holder. And then the little song at the end, the little tune at the end, is from YouTube's audio library of copyright-free songs. So that's absolutely right. That's 100% right. He's got 10 US business days to start legal proceedings. Bear in mind, I'm 4,000 miles away from him. And send paperwork to YouTube to prove how this video is his and not mine. Bear in mind, I've got the original footage still on my phone. I've got the MP4 file, which is the edited version. That's the sum total of everything. So yeah, take me to court. I'll see you in court, Steve Holder, because the judge will just laugh at you. I've laughed at you now for an hour and a half, so I think I've laughed at you enough. Now it's the time to let the law laugh at you, Steve Holder. Oh, I know I'll be fine because I own 100% of this video. 100% of this video. And once again, I throw down the gauntlet, the debate challenge, Steve Holder. Debate me, bro. Debate me on the Summer Wells case. We can do it on my channel. We can do it on your channel. We can do it on a neutral channel, if you would prefer to do that. And you debate me on the facts and what is known about the Summer Wells case over the last 2 years. You've got the book. I've got 500 plus videos of original content on the Summer Wells case. Who do you think will win a debate on Summer Wells? On the Summer Wells case. So, guys, I'm going to go back and rewind what has happened in the Taylor Shabusiness case. Because when I found out that I got this copyright strike, I had to immediately jump on live with the breaking news. I totally know more about the case than Steve Holder. Totally. I used to debate in my previous life on YouTube. I've had some very, very fruity debates. I've had some very interesting debates on YouTube. I got some very, very snarky people chasing me. Hold on a minute. I just want to... What's happened in the Taylor Shabusiness case? Has it finished? It's 10:30 my time. Hold on. Are they still live? Oh yeah, they're still live. Yeah, they're still live. Right, I'm going to go and rewind now. Debater, bro. Yeah, do it. Steve, get in touch with me. I've got 5 million emails, but yeah, you maybe. I literally have got about 5 million emails that I haven't read. But I'm going to go. Right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for reviewing this video with me. And I've just proven to everybody who's seen this live that the video that he has erroneously copyright struck is 100% my work. So he needs a proper slap. Metaphorically, of course. Not that I'd threaten anyone with a real life slap, a metaphorical slap. You need to give your head a wobble, Steve, because you've picked on the wrong creator here. That's all I'm saying. All right. Thanks for the donations, everyone. I don't know if we had any mods in. But anyway, I always thank the mods regardless. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.